Arizona, and I'm here today to make the origami embryo by Catherine Tosley at the University of Miami. The point of this exercise is to start with three layers of paper, blue, pink, and yellow, that represent the three layers of the gastrulating embryo. In this case, blue is ectoderm, pink is mesoderm, and yellow is endoderm. From the gastrula stage, with just a few steps of morphogenesis, the embryo moves to become a complex three-dimensional structure that has extraembryonic membranes, a neural tube, somites, a gut, a coelom, a body wall. And we're going to do this today because active learning is a great way to understand how something can change from two-dimensional to three-dimensional. So to start, what you need are some sheets of colored paper, blue, yellow, and pink. Ideally, you would have either one sheet of blue cut in half lengthwise and taped together, two sheets of pink, and one sheet of yellow. Again, cut in half lengthwise and taped together to make a long, thin starting material. I've also got a chopstick, but you can use a pencil. You need tape, a stapler, a pair of scissors, maybe a couple of paper clips, and the instructions. Gastrulation is a stage where the top layer of the embryo, which in chick is called the epiblast, and which will become all three layers of the embryonic tissue, which we're representing here as in blue, creates a structure in the midline called the primitive streak. And cells migrate in the epiblast layer and down through the primitive streak and back out again to create the three-layered gastrula. This is gastrulation, and that's how the pink and yellow layers are created from the blue. Gastrulation in our model is going to be created just by putting our layers of tissue together and showing that adhesion occurs between the mesoderm, the endoderm, and the ectoderm in the midline of the primitive streak, which we represent with staples. The first structure to develop inside the gastrulating embryo is the notochord. It forms in the mesodermal. I'm going to use this chopstick to represent the notochord. It's a cord-like structure that develops from the primitive streak, and I'm going to push it between the two pink layers in the mesoderm. It's a midline mesodermal structure between the staples I just made. So this represents both the primitive streak on top and going through the three layers, and the notochord, which is a structure that grows from the end of the primitive streak and creates a chordate embryo. Okay, so again, this is my notochord, a midline mesodermal structure, and the rest is my three-layered gastrula. In response to the primitive streak, the ectoderm on the surface is going to begin to differentiate and thicken and to rise up in folds. These are the neural folds. And I'll represent them by folding the blue layer of tissue here. These neural folds will give rise to the neural crest, which will migrate up